Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us today. Test. Make this loud as we can here so we can get the attention of City Hall, because that is the whole point of today. First of all, for anybody that doesn't know my name is Chad Novak. I'm here. I ran for mayor in 2012. Basically, we're here today to quote-unquote march against corruption. Now, of course, you notice there's only a few people here today. That's not by coincidence. The reason is that I've held this here today at noon on a weekday is to show exactly what's wrong with our City Hall. We have a City Hall that has these meetings during the weekdays, during work hours. This is the kind of results that we are supposed to be getting. This is the kind of results that they hope. It's about time that we stood up and shut this down. This entire ivory tower here is a dictatorship. It's a fascist regime. We need to basically stand up, demand our City Hall back, and tell them that we are not going to stand by and let them abuse the democracy that we live in. Our forefathers fought for this country. They fought for democracy. They fought for our right to vote. This City Hall has abused that right. They have abused the whole entire voting process. The entire 2012 municipal election was flawed, was rigged, was beyond anybody's wildest belief. And if anybody wants to challenge me on that, in that court across the street, I challenge you, Mayor Fougere, to bring it out there. They have an issue with that Court of Queen's Bench. They have no problems playing the cards in their favor. They have no problems to play the game and make it sound like I'm some nutcase, that I'm bringing some frivolous lawsuit to them. I'm sorry, but when we're talking about a $500 million annual budget, a corporation of our tax dollars, there is nothing frivolous about it. I'm not the only one out there that's in that predicament right now. And it's about time that they damn well sat down and understood what democracy was truly about. We have a mayor, we have a council that are in extreme conflict of interests in everything they do. They bend over backwards for developers in our city, which we've seen in Calgary. We've seen what happened when Mayor Nenshi outed all of that stuff. The entire city council was basically outed, and it's going to the courts. It is about time that we brought this city back to the individual taxpayers. That's what I stand up for. Individual taxpayers' rights. I'm not standing up for big corporations. I'm not standing up for anybody other than you and me. And the fact of the matter is, there's small businesses out there that are getting screwed out of benefits downtown here. A downtown BID. We have a parking organization, or a parking situation where people are having a hard time just getting parking daily to go and visit the shops. And the City of Regina solution? Well, let's jump the parking rates and we'll increase our enforcement. It's great for tax grabs, but it's horrible for those downtown small businesses because their customers are pissed off enough as it is. So what we need to do is we need to propose solutions. What I'm here today is basically, this is an entire week of what I would like to call the March Against Corruption. It's a global movement. The unfortunate thing is here in Regina, we're all sleeping. We don't see it. But this is my job, and this is one of many people's jobs, to bring this stuff out to the forefront. People have called me kind of crazy. People have called me seeking attention. Well, you know what? If you want to say I'm seeking attention, this is what today is about. Call me a sideshow. Call me whatever the hell you want. But talk about the issues. This is what I'm here for. I'm not here to make myself look like a lunatic. I'm here to bring the issues to light. If you need to talk about me in a derogatory way, just to talk about the issues, have fun. Go for it. We have, just to give you a few examples of the issues that are facing our city right now. We have streets that are crumbling. We have a city hall that tells these people that their streets are crumbling, and oh, by the way, if you want to get it fixed, it'll be $10,000, please. But it's okay, it'll improve your property's value, even though your property hasn't been touched in 50 years. We have taxes going through the roof. We had the highest tax increase in the last 3 decades from fascist Fougere sitting up there. And we're just sitting back and, oh, you know, at least they reduced it from 7% to 5.99 or 5, whatever it was. No, don't sit down and accept that. You can make these changes. Tell them you want your city hall back. Tell them you want your tax dollars back. There's no reason why we need to be sitting by and accepting the 7%, 5%, 4% tax increases. All we need to do is have a city hall that has spending priorities. The stadium project, the wastewater treatment plant project are both white elephants to the nth degree. These things are projects that are, the prices haven't been inflated. And you know why? Because we have the president of the Saskatchewan Construction Association sitting up in that mayor's seat. It's no coincidence. When I dared to meet with him on January 4th, 2013, and I talked about the fact that there's a potential conflict, what was his response to me? Don't you dare go there, Mr. Novak. What are you afraid of, Mr. Fougere? You afraid of people actually knowing the truth? You may have sat by and played the game in the election, and congratulations, you won. But you're not going to play the game any longer, and you're not going to get away with it. This entire week is going to be fun. Before I left on holidays, there was the announcement of PCL construction, which was predicted 2 years ago. PCL, you'll also note, was also the primary proponent in terms of proposing the costs of the provincial stadium project. At that time, we had a covered stadium for $336 million. And yet somehow, 4 years later, with the construction rates through the roof, as we've been told by City Hall, somehow they've magically been able to cut $86 million off of that, less whatever the factor of inflation would be, just because they took a roof off of it. There's some serious questions that are going on, and we need that place to come forward with these facts. They're not doing it voluntarily. I've tried my ass off to get it out from them in their meetings. I've tried across the street at the Court of Queen's Bench to get it out of them. But they played their games. They've manipulated the system. And this is about time that they understand exactly how serious of a matter this is, how finally pissed off people are, and we're going to be taking our tax dollars back. We're not going to let you guys play Lego with them and give it to your friends. Did you know that this entire city, this entire province is run by about 25, give or take, elite individuals? Believe it or not, it is the utter truth. And I can show you the documentation. I'll be posting it on my website all this week. You'll be glad to see what's happening. We have a housing crisis, a homelessness. These are serious issues. The city takes advantage of this situation in the sense of they try and tell people that, well, we're fixing housing. Well, you're fixing housing, but you're not fixing affordable housing. This is a big difference. We have people going homeless on the street. We have people that are trying hardest to decide whether they're going to pay their rent or their food. This is an issue. And this whole city hall isn't going to do it. Finally, and for anybody that's asked about why I'm here today at noon on a work day, well, it's come out of the public. It's come out, because our favorite counselor, Mr. Terry Hanks, decided that he was going to talk about it on Twitter. And yeah, I'm not working anymore. But why? You have to ask yourself that. Is it because I am a bad accountant? Hell no. You can even ask my former employer because of that. It's because of the continued harassment that he got day after day after day. Emails, he's got copies of the emails. I've got a couple copies of them. Phone calls from Terry Hanks, from anybody that's associated with them. What are you doing employing Novak? We're going to go and protest your homes because you employ Novak. Seriously? What are we, 5 here? This is about time that we need to... This is the kind of tactics that these guys play. Anybody that dares to go against them, they will shut them down any way they can. They will not be happy until I am broke, homeless, and divorced on the street. And I am not letting that happen. It is about time that we stand up, march against that corruption, and I encourage everyone to focus on getting City Hall held to account. Visit my website at chad4regina.com, number 4. Feel free to email me any questions you may have. I am an open book. Anything within reason. I believe in being accountable and transparent. Have been since day one of my entire life. Day one of the mayoral campaign. Unlike some individuals who ran in the election, who you don't see anywhere anymore, I'm still here. I'm still holding these guys accountable. I'm still presenting to them, as frustrating as it is. Because I honestly believe if you push hard enough, eventually something will crack. And right now, right down the center of that city hall, there is a giant crack. All we gotta do is take that little tappy hammer and just tap it once. Because they're that close to falling down. They're that close to breaking. It's demonstrated through several of their actions recently, and I am so happy to see that. So please, I encourage every one of you to go and visit my website, chad4regina.com. Feel free to, if you see me on the streets, ask me questions. I'm still open and honest about everything I can. And yeah, this is the week. Check out my website, and I'll be talking about more events happening this week. Thank you for your time.